Hello, everybody, to another episode of How Does It Work? And today I'm super excited to be joined by Zoe from the team IQ because they built a really cool system how you can very cheaply save data on Solana. So maybe do you want to introduce yourself a little bit?
Yes, hello, I'm Zoe, founder and developer from IQ6900. And IQ6900 is inscription standard in Solana. So at the first time, I was trying to make ordinals in Solana, but it was expensive. So I made a new inscription standard that 2000 times cheaper in Solana.
Yeah, super cool.
Yeah.
So how does this encryption actually work? Can you, I think you're saving data in the ledger, right? Can you explain a bit how it works?
Okay, can I share my screen? Like,
Yes, sure.
yeah. So how we are making a cheaper is the original method was first make a space and then send data in the space is current original data sending system, but I think a different in the blockchain every data is permanent, as like we don't need to make a space either, so I just using a trend only the transaction and not the space in the blockchain. So basic idea is make a not make the space and then store the data. How is it work is we can make the chunk first, the chunk the data in the fit within the transaction size, and also we send the data as a chunk. But we using a two PDA for storing the data, and one PDA we send the data in the here PDA data, and then this PDA have a data and then before transaction ID link transaction ID. So we send data here and then we replace the data next chunk and then keep replacing a data so we can track as a transaction record and not the space. That's how we are making this data cheaper.
Okay, let me make sure that I understood this correctly. So you don't want to allocate a big account because the rent for this data would be very expensive, right?
Yes.
And instead, you have two accounts and one of the data account, and with the transaction, you just always replace the data in that account over multiple transactions, and then you can get the data back out like that. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yes. So only have a tail transaction, we can track the data as a first. Yeah.
Okay, so in the account, you basically save a bunch of data, and then you have a pointer to the last transaction.
Yeah, pointer for before one before transaction. So
Okay,
yes.
so that's the signature from the last transaction, right?
Yes.
So in which data format are you saving this data?
Every user data is everyone just can send the data as make a chunk and then exactly same as the data. We didn't do the hashing for data and or compression for data. Just the how user want to save it.
Okay, so you basically have a client SDK which cuts the data into chunks and then calls these transactions, right?
Yeah. So actually our client SDK was just for the our partners. So we have an API here, and then we
Mm-hmm.
we all of our partner using our API at until now, and I make SDK like recently. So yeah, we have a SDK here. So this SDK make write the data like here this and then read the data in the here just like this, and I can
Super cool. But like if you want to read the data, since you're like always replacing the data in the account, so how would people read the data?
how many people.
Now, how would you, like if I now want to get the data again, let's say, I mean, I saw your cool project where you put the Doom on chain, right? So now let's say I want to load the game. Like, how can I get the data?
So
Mm-hmm.
yes.
So you have your own data viewer, right?
Yeah. Yes, this diagram is best to detailed diagram. So
Hmm.
step for reading data. Actually, I didn't explain the another PDA's work. So basically, we using a two PDA for storing data. One PDA is making a date transactions linked list,
Hmm.
and then another PDA is making a metadata. So this metadata store the last transaction ID here. The
Hmm.
this yeah another PDA's last transaction, and then this
Yes.
contain the data type and then the username and Merkle root.
Hmm.
So let's see this. This is my account, and then this is my database account. This database account signature is here. Every signature means one data. This signature is one data. Signature is one data, and we can see the data like here is same. So for VKB6F, for POT, like everything display just everything, and then when user click the data, we can bring the data in the book from the blockchain.
Cool. Can you show one of the transactions in SoulScan maybe as well?
Yeah. So here,
Hmm.
so this transaction is metadata transaction, and
Hmm.
in the instruction data, I have a tail transaction ID. So here, if I search this, here is my metadata account. This is my metadata PDA, and then every transaction here is the data, means the data. So in my site, you can see every transaction in here for VKB6, for POT, to UV. So for VK, for POT, to UV. So if I click here, I can see the data like this.
Cool. Can you show also one of them in SoulScan directly?
Yes. So in the database transaction, we storing the tail transaction and then type field and then offset. Type field is the type that developer want to write here. So I write the Q diary. Q is our AI agent, actually.
Hmm.
And then I found the tail transaction here. So if I search here, I can find the data accounts, one of data accounts transaction. So
That's basically always the last one, right? So in the metadata, you always basically save the tail of your data queue, right?
yes.
Okay, cool. So if people want to read the data, basically they need to go to the metadata account, find the last transaction, and then go backwards until they have all the data bits, right?
Yeah. Yes. Right.
Really cool. But you probably also have some indexing, right?
Yeah. Index the database account work as an indexer. I heard indexer is just for the gathering the user data. And since this code into the multiple times for the data size and the DB code in for is doing only one time for the data.
I see.
So this mapping the data directly like a user have a user's data, something like a user have a user's data linked. We can see like this. DB PDAs transaction list. Transaction 1 is one data. Transaction 2 is data 2. Yes. DB
Yes. Right.
PDA
So
work as an indexer.
okay, so where does then this Merkle root come in? Can you explain that part a little bit?
Yes. So if we only do here and then end, we got a problem with the RPC. We may require so many RPC viewing to if we want to make something like a video platform, you know. So
Yeah. Because in every transaction, you can only save like around 1 kilobyte, right?
Yes.
232.
Yes.
Makes sense, yeah.
So we are making a cache protocol. It's not only just service, just as a protocol. So this Merkle root, we store Merkle root in the DB PDA, and then when user want to find the data, user check only DB PDA to see Merkle root here, and then try to search the database as a search like my database, and then something like this. The Merkle root only can point the data because this Merkle root made by the every data chunks. So user can search database in the Merkle root. So if the cache database have a data, user get the data directly, and this cache database don't have a data. They bring a data from the blockchain, like here.
Yeah.
And then after user bring the data from the blockchain, they put this data to the cache database. So this Merkle root is for the caching.
So basically using a Merkle root as a data structure, right?
Yes.
And then people could basically use your API and just say, hey, I want this data from this account. And then you can give them like a whole data.
Yes, basically. And also we are going to open our backend structure too.
Cool. Nice.
So I think user can make the user's own using system.
Really cool. Do you maybe want to quickly show the program?
Yes.
I think it was written in Anchor.
Yes, for sure. This writing with Anchor and Web3 yes for Solana. So this bring the DB PDAs, offset, and then type field. Like when user first try this, and then yes, this is most basic our structure. So first, user, this is the loop. So it working while the.
So you're basically getting your data account, and then you have a loop where you always take the last signature, get the data, take the last signature, get the data, and so on until you have the whole data, right?
Yes, until we met the Genesis data. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Really cool. Do you maybe want to show the Anchor program as well?
Anchor program. Okay.
Yeah, where we can see like the different accounts, your data account and your metadata account.
Okay, here is it.
Yeah, cool. Can you explain a little bit how it works? Like with the two different accounts, the database account and the metadata account, and
Okay.
how you save data in there?
So first time, first for each wallet, user make the PDA first. Only PDA for the 1,000 byte.
Yeah.
For the just making a transaction. And then, so yeah, so when user making a data, user sending the data, we change the PDA's record here. I heard, I was first time I was do it with the log here, Solana log, but I heard Solana log is not that not very on chain. And
It's
then
not very reliable because some of the RPC providers sometimes truncate the logs. So yeah, the idea of just replacing the code sounds good.
Yeah.
And then you basically save the last transaction, so it's before transaction, right? And then the new code is the data.
Yeah.
Right?
Code is the data.
And method, what is method?
Method field is for the support developers encrypt system. So if developer want to encrypt some their data, they encrypt this and then upload it. But after then, user can write this method field. So if user write number 1 or number 2, number 3 or random number, the user can decrypt data in the after they got the blockchain. Yeah.
Really cool. So you can also have encrypted data in these storage accounts. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, super nice. So I think most of the code is open source, right? So people could theoretically try it out. And you also have your nice data viewer website, right?
I think if people is really near to have very much experience of to the Solana developer, I think user can write the data from here, but I didn't open the SDK and API yet for everyone. I opened this API for only for my partners, but I will open this really quick in this month. Maybe in this
really
week.
cool. Yeah, I mean, and if people want to get in contact, they can just write you, right? And then you can give them access and maybe you find a new partner or something. So I think this is a super cool project. So thanks a lot for showing us. Do you wanted to highlight any other points of the project?
Okay, thank you for saying this for these two. Yes, I can see our unopened plan for in this time. I can highlight it. So, yeah, I explained.
Our hero is always loading a bit slowly.
Yeah,
It's also a big mirror board.
yeah, big mirror. So I explained the code in and the write code and the read code only, and then didn't explain everything here. But I can say we can do the great system in here is data sending system. So
okay.
yeah, we store the data right on the Solana and then not rely on everything. So for write data in the blockchain, we can not only do the storing the data, but we can sending data for another people. So
cool.
yeah, we provide the category system and then send it to user, and then the sending huge something like sending huge email, we can airdrop like to the data. So this sending data can make the chatting system reply and chat, and the category system can make the online site in the blockchain. So yes.
Cool. How does sending data work? I mean, you just put it all in an account and then you send the ownership of that account or just the address of the data account?
Yeah, I made it a little bit funny. At the April, I did a funny fool for people. So I don't know why, but people say developer feedback is the great meme. So I must try to send, hey, if you buy IQ, I will send your developer feedback in every IQ account. And then I spam everyone to sending the developer picture. Actually, I send the developer feedback, but not my developer feedback. I ask Grok to make developer and then feed. Then
Yeah,
free or
it doesn't look like your foot, yes.
Yeah.
And so if you spammed it to so many people, how much did it cost? Like how much does a sending one picture cost?
Yeah, so how is it work is while the making a metadata transaction, we contain the sending Solana here. So only sending Solana little amount and then do the DB coding instruction. Then user can see DB coding instruction in user's wallet that can send data. If everyone have an experience of do the buy coin and then see the transaction list, maybe people have experience to see something like this website city.app and this the sending shilling for user by the sending Solana. They
Yes.
sending a little bit of Solana and then show me this. I copy this
Yes.
idea. So I sending money for user while doing the
Mhm.
last transaction that have a tail transaction. So it costs one transaction fee for one user.
Oh, that's pretty cheap. But if you want to have this data account, that one is probably like at least 1 kilobyte, right?
Yes.
So the rent for 1 kilobyte would be, let me quickly show this up. So it would be probably around 0.0007 sol to create one of these data accounts, right?
Yes.
Okay. But then people could also close it again later, and like most of the stuff is saved in transactions, so it would be like 5,000 lamperts per 10 kilobytes, right?
Mm, After we make the data PDA, we don't add the space anymore, and then only reuse this. So if user do the transaction a lot, I think this is more cheaper, and then we got only this data PDA. So here is the DB account, and here is the code account. And then when user initialize, the data account have a like 1 kilobyte, and then the DB account have a like something like 200 bytes.
Mm-hmm.
After we
So it's a little bit
yeah
more. So it's like around 0.0085 or something then for one data. But then you can like put as much data as you want, right? Whenever you want to put more data, you just send a transaction for 5,000 lamperts, and then you have another 1,000 bytes saved, right?
actually after this is just for the user, one user for this pay this amount, and then
Mm-hmm.
after this user pay this amount, we use DB account again. So
Yeah, that's really cool. So like that, you can also send data. Yeah, this is a very cool use case, actually. I like it.
yes. So this is one database account, and then this have a 181 bytes, and then we don't read here's data, and then we read this data for the reading data.
Yes. Yeah, totally makes
Yeah.
sense. Really cool. Yeah.
So
Very nice concept.
yeah, yeah. Thank you for saying this. So after pay rent once, we don't pay rent anymore, and then making a transaction and then see this transaction data as for the data, saving data.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much for like showing this to all of us. And yeah, if anyone wants to follow along with the project, definitely follow Zoo or Zo on Twitter or on X. And I think you're posting updates on the project, right? And if anyone wants to try out the program, that one is open source. And if you want to get in contact, like and maybe partner up with IQ, then yeah, just reach out. And we're gonna probably put a bunch of the links to at least the backend Anchor program in the comments as well. Do you have anything else you wanted to point out?
I think it's great. Let's make the Web3 internet on the let's make the internet on the blockchain is our goal. Yes.
Yes, let's do it.
Let's make a Web3.
Yay! All right, thank you so much. And yeah, we're gonna see you at some Solana events in the future, I'm sure. So yeah, super cool project. Thank you for explaining everybody how it works. And yeah, see you in the next one.